We come to you tonight from the shores of Lake Erie as the streets of downtown Cleveland, Ohio are alive with activity. It's the home of the Cavaliers here in Cleveland, Ohio, as we bring you an interconference match here at the Quicken Loans Arena. Hi, everyone. We're happy to have you with us for this edition of the NBA on 2K Sports. Along with Greg Anthony and Doris Burke, I'm Kevin Harlan. David Aldridge, our sideline reporter. The Thunder made a special trip here for one game, back in Oklahoma City for the next one. Everyone on this team is pleased with the beginning of the season. They're playing so well right now, 5 consecutive wins.
Yeah, this is a great team, and I wouldn't put it past them to continue to play at a very high level. I mean, that's the makeup of the squad. You know, they've got great character, tremendous talent, and obviously very well coached. They very well could continue to play this kind of basketball throughout the course of the season.
And let's go straight over to David Aldridge for a report before the tip-off. Hey, Dave.
Well, guys, it's hard to remember now, but Kevin Love didn't enter the league as a three-point shooter. Yet it's become a cornerstone of his game. The coaches have told him if you're a big man and you can shoot it out there, you're a valuable commodity. Kevin, he has listened, and he is indeed valuable.
Well, in this game today, it's all about court spacing, D.A. Thanks for the report. In the early going here, Doris, we're already seeing a continued trend, putting 5 guys on the floor who can hit the face-up jumper.
Well, this is the new age in the NBA. The floor spacing is incredible because when you've got 5 face-up guys, all of whom can put the ball on the deck, all of whom can shoot, it creates so many driving lanes. And the origin of this, to me, goes back to the last Spurs NBA championship. It was such pretty basketball, the movement, the flow. That, to me, was the starting point for all this.
Team's kind of playing outside in, and it's fun to watch the change. So here's Oklahoma City's starting group. Patterson is the 4 with Adams in the middle. Robertson and George fill out the wings. And it's Westbrook in at the point. Now, here is Young. Just 5 to shoot. Here's Hill. The rebound by Steven Adams. So for Cleveland, their last game, a win against the Magic in Orlando. Nance with it. To the inside. Hill kicks to Nance. Pass to Love. Jacks up a 3. The rebound by Paul George. To the middle. Here's Adams. That one wide left. Cleveland with the ball. Nance outside. And it's Love missing.
He does everything right except drain the shot.
Patterson with it. He's picked up by Nance. And the whistle blows. It's going to be on Nick Young. That's his first foul. Here's George. He had 16 points in the win against New Orleans.
And it was a huge night for him at the other end as well. How about the steals? And he was just a big headache the entire game.
Now here is Hill. Paul George unable to get his shot to go. Young against George. 4 on the shot clock. Fires from 14, and it's sent back by George. The Thunder have gone 0 of 3 from the field to start the game. Adams with the screen on Hill. And that one goes out of bounds. Last touch by Westbrook.
And that's just carelessness there. I mean, you have got to have your head in the game.
Here in the first quarter with about 2 minutes gone by. To the paint, Love. And Love throws it down.
Kevin, I've always appreciated the unselfish nature of George Hill. He always has his eyes surveying the floor.
Screen by Adams. Patterson setting the pick for George. 6 on the shot clock. And here's Westbrook from the arc. Love grabs the board.
0 for 4. They can't buy a bucket.
Down low. And there's J.R. Smith on the assist by Love. Smith's got his first 2 points of the night.
Well, you really like to see Smith go to work inside there. Always looking to expand on his game.
Timeout is called. First of the game for the Thunder. Well, Greg, we know that Kevin Love is a great passer, but just how much more does that open up for his team?
I mean, his outlets get the team up and moving in terms of transition faster than probably anyone else could. It's very hard to double Love with the ball, as his awareness and that passing that you mentioned immediately will find the open man. Love's passing alone is probably worth about 10 extra points a game for his team.
Now we'd like to take this moment to show you the teams that a year ago made a trademark of scoring points off turnovers. Number 1, the Thunder.
Yeah, I mean, the best in the league at forcing those miscues and then capitalizing at the other end. Their defense led to their offense.
And here in the first, approaching 3 minutes played. Here's Roberson, covered by Smith. Outside for George. No good with the triple.
Yeah, slow start right now. 5 straight misses to get this one going.
Smith the pass to Love. Young outside. Nance a screen on George. Young from outside. The shot, no good. And Oklahoma City will go with it the other way. This their first chance this season playing the Cavaliers.
And you have to love it when there's a matchup like this. 2 teams that are at the top of their respective conferences going at it.
And the fact that they split their 2 meetings last season. Does one try to get a leg up?
Hill kicks to Love. That shot misses. Adams, some nice D.
Hey, we're not seeing the best quarter by this guy, and he's lost his feel a little bit.
Roberson dishes to George. Westbrook. And Westbrook is right there. And this game is tied up now.
Well, needless to say, the intensity is always there for Russell Westbrook. How about that? Wow.
Love outside. Nance trying to break loose. Lays it up off the glass. Love's got his second bucket tonight.
And their post play has been really solid right off the bat.
Baseline try, and he gets that one to go off the front iron.
Well, you love seeing Westbrook fire with confidence from the mid-range. This guy knows he can consistently make those shots.
George against Young. To the paint. And Adams sends it back, and he recovers it. Well, Thunder have gotten just 3 of their first 9 shots to go down in this game. On the wing, George. Young with the steal. Outside, Hill. Westbrook with the block.
Oh, my goodness. Russell Westbrook twice on the pipe sends that shot back. My goodness.
Here's Patterson. And that misses. That would have put him up. Cleveland's gone 0 of 2 from deep here. Young passes to Smith. Stolen by George. And pushing it up here. Here is Oklahoma City. And the rejection by Love. Nance against Patterson. Smith for 3. Good. The assist goes to Hill. Smith's got 5 points so far.
Oh, JR has no problem drilling a shot from that kind of range.
Hill against Westbrook. Ring shot on the way, and the jumper is on the mark. He's got 6.
Boy, Kev, I love his game. He can hurt you in so many different ways.
Screen by Smith. And Young kicks to Hill. Smith the pass to Young. 5 to shoot. Here's Smith. Hits the front of the rim and out. Oklahoma City trailing. Here's Roberson. He hasn't yet put up any points in this one. The dish to Westbrook. There's the pass to Patterson. Hits the three-point bomb. And the Thunder lead by 2.
Well, we talk about not wasting any time. How about Patrick Patterson on the catch and shoot?
So timeout called here, the first for Cleveland. Locker room presence, one of the aspects that gets overlooked by fans, but Doris, not by coaches. And there are some players who have that presence.
You know what, Kevin? And this can take the shape of a lot of different things. So one guy that comes to mind is Sean Livingston. Always calm, always about team. Thaddeus Young is not a name necessarily that is at the top of everybody's best player list, but anyone who's ever coached Thad Young believes in his ability to affect positively a locker room. Then you have those guys who maybe are going to challenge you a little bit more, but ultimately are good for the team. And I would cite Draymond Green, who will call out a teammate if necessary, push them to greater heights. You need both kinds, I think, Kevin, in your locker room.
For the Cavaliers, Kyle Korver. He's checked in for Young. Clarkson comes in for J.R. Smith. And it's Sexton in for Hill. And then for Oklahoma City, Nerlens Noel comes in for Patrick Patterson. And Dennis Schroeder subbed in for Andre Robertson. Once again off the mark by Cleveland.
I'll tell you, his touch has been off all day, and now his judgment is starting to go by the wayside as well. That's a poor shot.
Man, can you always depend on him or what to lead you to the right place with that pass? Money.
Now, here's Sexton. An 11-point game for him in the win against the Magic in Orlando. Will it go? And it's wide right. It's off the rim.
Now, that's where they want to go with the ball. They can tolerate a few misses as long as he gets his touches inside. Well, I'll tell you, he's been a go-to guy for them as they've taken this lead, and he keeps coming.
The Cavaliers trail by 6. And here's Clarkson. He had an 18-point outing in their last game against the Magic in Orlando.
Boy, what a nice carom there, guys. He can really use that size and length to his advantage.
That's not the type of opportunity he fails to convert very often.
And George gets the whistle that time. That is his first foul of the game. Grant, he's checked in for the Thunder. Felton comes in for Russell Westbrook. And stolen by Noel. Schroeder outside. The three from George. The shot's good on the assist by Schroeder. And it's a 9-point Thunder lead. Cleveland's gone 1 of 3 from beyond the arc so far in the game. Timeout called, Cleveland.
Boy, certain guys, it's just a rough season, right? For Nerlens Noel last year, that was the case. Couldn't get any consistent playing time. And after looking to be finally on the rise, he takes a step back in his development. It's got to be tough.
A chance here to assess what parts of the floor the attempts have been coming from as we look at the shot chart for the Cavaliers.
And when you look at that chart, concentrate for a second on what they're not doing. They're not getting a lot of threes from the corners. That's something that has to change. Makes it much easier to defend the team when you know they can't score from the corner.
The lead pushed to double digits. And the Thunder lead by 11.
And already they've staked out a noticeable advantage in terms of aggression and controlling the backboard.
Korver kicks to Clarkson. Nance a screen. Near the three-point line, it's Love. Basket made. That's his third of the game. He's 3 for 9 now.
I'll tell you this, Kevin Love, with a defender draped all over him, doesn't even blink. Made jumper. Pretty stuff.
And he gets contact and the whistle on the shot. 2 shots coming up. And the foul called on the Cleveland Cavaliers.
I don't think any of us can forget that broken leg Paul George suffered playing for the United States national team in 2014. But what a joy, guys, to see him back and playing at an elite level.
And he knocks down the first one. And Doris, you go back to the injury for Paul George. Some moments where you question whether he'd be the same player. Do you think, in your opinion, that factored into his decision to leave Indiana in search of a more competitive situation?
You know what, Kevin, I'm not sure if the injury played a part, but we know unequivocally because Paul George stated it. He wants his legacy to be about winning. And because those peak years for a star player can be fleeting, you have to appreciate the pursuit of just that.
Now, here's Clarkson. No scoring yet from him, but that's likely to change. Felton against Clarkson. Left side, George. Back to Felton. It's rebounded by Cleveland.
And that one gives them a +5 rebound advantage, Kevin.
Nance, no good.
You're not going to see that very often. Plenty of space, but he just, let's face it, he whiffs on that one.
And George gets it to go.
I don't know if you can do it any better on both ends than they have tonight.
I don't think you can ask for anything more, Greg. What a wonderful job establishing a lead early in this one.
Now here's Love. In the game against Orlando, very impressive.
Well, that kind of assist will make you very popular with your teammates. Kevin Love is adept as a big man at putting it on time and on target.
Korver against George. Another shot. And Noel lays it up and in. Noel's got his second bucket of the night.
They are just killing them on the interior.
Nance a screen. Love dishes to Clarkson. Love with the screen for Clarkson. And another 3 for Cleveland.
Well, you can give them a steady diet of pick and roll because if Jordan Clarkson gets downhill, it's trouble.
Here's George. And the officials call a traveling violation. While there's a break in the action, let's take a look at the players who had the most steals in the league last season. Second is Paul George. And, of course, Russell Westbrook.
And with all the steals these two came away with, they probably put a thought in the back of every opponent's head, and it wasn't a very good thought.
Sexton kicks to Love. Fires the 3. And the foul on Larry Nance Jr. That is his first foul of the game. Cedi Osman, he's checked in for Jordan Clarkson. Here's Oklahoma City. They're on a 20-7 run. There's the screen. Noel passes to George. Off target with his 3.
They've been sensational on the backboard to start this game.
And there's the call on Felton. That is his first foul of the game. There's 45 seconds left here in the first quarter. Sinks the triple.
Well, to me, that's the next step for Larry Nance. This guy is so unselfish, but we don't yet know how good a facilitator he can become.
Now, here's George. 9 points in the game so far, and the shot goes down.
They should continue to get the ball inside. The defense struggling to contain them.
Korver kicks to Love. Over Noel. The rebound by Grant.
I'll tell you, he hasn't been able to find the mark all night. It's a big reason they're staring at this deficit.
On the wing, Korver, defended by George. It's stolen by Schroeder. Here's Grant. Paul George, he's been the guy making things happen for Oklahoma City. He comes away with 11 points in the quarter and is showing no signs of fatigue. We've got more in store for you right after this. The leadership of Russell Westbrook is so important to the team, and Steven Adams talked about what it means to him.
He's doing just an unbelievable job at just controlling the guys, controlling the game, making sure that everyone's feeling in the right mood to play and willing to sacrifice for one another.
You know, so much of leadership is that emotional component, motivating guys to give their all.
And Russ certainly leads by example with his competitive zeal, but he understands also he's got to bring his teammates with him.
And welcome back. It's been all one-sided so far through the first quarter as our second quarter gets underway. What stands out to you from Oklahoma City in this one?
I think they play great D and not giving up anything easy early on.
You love that they're making the offense work, right? Making every single thing they try to do hard.
And now let's check out the lineups courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. Here's the second quarter of play. On the court for Cleveland, Nance is inside along with Love. Then there's Kyle Korver. Then there's Sexton. And it's Osman in at the 2. Now here's Felton, looking for his first basket still in this one. Here's George.
It's great to see Kyle Korver be aggressive on the defensive end. Got to use your height and positioning.
Love dishes to Korver. And it's off from three-point range.
Well, the Cleveland Cavaliers last year won by virtue of their offense. There were times when they're making that three-point shot that they simply could overwhelm people. And let's remember, they had LeBron James on their roster as well. And when you've got LeBron, you've got a chance.
Now here's Love. Paul George unable to get his shot to go. Love the pass to Osman. And he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line. And with the Cavs and their offense last year, Doris, they would attack from outside.
Well, you'd think that LeBron would attract so much attention that shooters would get all the space necessary to knock down shots. It's why the team was 4th in the NBA in percentage of shots attempted beyond the arc. When you live by the 3, you die by the 3. But more often than not, it has worked out well for the Cavs.
And the first one drops. You know, Doris, for a long time, few people realized how efficient the three-point shot can be, the extra point making such a difference. Why do you think it took a while for that thought process to hold?
Well, I think obviously we have advanced metrics. And the reason we have advanced metrics is there are more ways to monitor the things that happen between the lines, right? There are cameras everywhere. We can track people's data via computer programs. But I think one of the interesting things to me, Kevin, is that Steph Curry really has changed the logistics of what defines a quality shot. Here's a guy who steps across half court, and when he does, he's in range. So the influence of Steph Curry cannot be understated.
Great example. Now, here's Sexton after the miss from Dennis Schroeder and the foul called on Nerlens Noel. That'll be his second foul of the game.
Another foul would give him 3 before the half. Something to keep an eye on, guys.
And the Cavaliers making a change here. Hill's checked in. Smith outside. Just 4 to shoot. Cleveland needs to get a shot off here. Hill, no good. Oklahoma City comes into this one after the win against New Orleans. Let's go now to the sideline and catch up with David Aldridge.
Well, it is the era of positionless basketball, but how exactly did we get here? Well, new defensive rules at the turn of the century encouraged face-up scoring, motion-based offense, and guard play over isolation and post-ups. As a result, Offensive roles have become more interchangeable.
It has become a positionless game now. David, thank you very much. Now, here's Patterson, following the miss by Kevin Love. Grant kicks to Patterson. Noel sets a screen for Schroeder to the right side. Grant gets a wide open look. Offline with his three. The Cavaliers trail by 7. They've been struggling here on offense.
Yeah, a bit of a dry spell for sure.
And it's Smith missing.
Yeah, good interior D there prevents the deuce.
Well, if he wasn't there, that shot's going in. Love the effort on the defensive end.
Passes it to Young. And stolen by Patterson. Pass to Noel. Schroeder with the ball. Patterson a screen on Hill. Schroeder passes to Patterson. Just 5 to shoot. No problems knocking that one down.
Timeout.
And the Thunder lead by 10.
Well, Grant is going to have to expand his range. And how about the confidence on that jumper?
And the Cavaliers call time here.
When you think about the 2 consecutive first-round playoff exits for the Oklahoma City Thunder, this is a franchise that had made it to the conference finals in 4 out of the previous 6 seasons. So not the kind of deep run they're accustomed to.
For the Thunder, Adams, he's checked in for Noel. And Russell Westbrook is subbed in for Grant. And it's the Cavaliers with the ball. They've only allowed 5 points in the quarter. And the Thunder struggling to break through in the West. Doris, are they going in the wrong direction?
Well, certainly they've lost their fair share of star players. And you wonder, do rival executives start to think they may need to trade Westbrook and start from square one?
And that one clearly a foul. Gets the whistle and 2 shots coming up.
Wow, the fire, the passion. Russell Westbrook plays the game with such unbridled intensity. The relish he takes in competition on a nightly basis is special.
That free throw, no good. Russell Westbrook's mantra is, why not? Way of daring himself to greater heights.
I think, Kevin, in time, it became a way to build confidence to take on the world. That why not? Who says you can't? He lives by that maxim, and I love it, Kevin.
And he's good on the second. The Cavaliers trail by 11. Hill kicks to Young, 11 feet away. It's rebounded by Schroeder.
+8 in the rebound differential. One more reason why they're in control.
Beyond the arc. Tries again. Rejected by Young. And he recovers it. And he's able to get it back. Cleveland's gone 0 of 3 from beyond the arc to start the second quarter. Smith outside. There's the pick. Pick up by Hill. It's stolen by Schroeder. Inside. Patterson dishes to Westbrook. And the shot goes in. Westbrook's got 11 points.
Westbrook can absorb contact, Kevin. He's got great focus and great finishing ability.
Screen by Smith. Hill kicks to Smith. The Cavaliers again can't hit.
Well, I'll tell you, still looking for that first 3 of the second quarter. He had one to open this game in the first.
They grab their own miss. Schroeder lays it up, and despite of the excellent defense at that, he has 6.
It's been their Achilles heel defensively. They just have not been able to control that backboard.
Down low. And Hill, the bucket on the assist by Young.
I'll tell you, George Hill doesn't get nervous just because he's outsized. I love his aggressiveness in the paint.
Westbrook passes to Schroeder. Right wing. Here's Patterson. From outside, off the mark. The Cavaliers trail by 15. Smith outside. Pass to Osman. A three-pointer off the mark.
Yeah, you love the solid screen, but what you hate is just the inability to finish.
Well, you know, that's okay, I think. Even though they miss, they still have to be happy with the shot selection.
And the foul called on Russell Westbrook. That's his first foul. Clarkson, he's checked in for Cleveland. On defense, Oklahoma City. Now the pass to Hill. To the middle, Love. Hill trying to break free, and no good that time. Adams, some nice D. To the inside, stolen by Clarkson. The drive by Smith. Here's Love, and he got the whistle, so he'll have a three-point play opportunity.
Guys, just pure strength from Kevin Love. The defense just not good enough.
Kevin Love might not put up the same numbers Dorsey once did in Minnesota, but he is just as deadly a player.
And Kevin, he told us specifically that he can hang his hat on the number of straight finals he has gone to. And listen, he has become more and more comfortable in Cleveland and a consistent star presence for this team.
That one misses for Love.
Well, you think about the last few years and the evolution of Kevin Love. He's now become an elite stretch four, and he's got the green light on a nightly basis to shoot it from distance. Great.
Now, here is Young after the miss from Dennis Schroeder. High post shot. That one's not going to go. And it's Oklahoma City the other way.
Yeah, they've shown effort and aggression in the paint, really right from the tip. Their rebounding edge right now, massive. And he's trying to shoot his way out of it. You know, they have the lead, but honestly, I think it might help if he'd be a little bit more selective tonight.
And here now the Thunder, following the miss by J.R. Smith.
Boy, no idea why he went with the fadeaway. Had a clean look at the basket.
Love with a wide open look. He drains the quick shot. Love's got 4 points now in the quarter.
Phenomenal choice by K. Love to go with the pull-up jumper. Just knows how to exploit the D.
Schroeder outside. Patterson, the screen. Shot clock at 6. Here's Westbrook. And 2 free throws coming up. Unable to get that one to go with all the contact. That's on Nick Young. And Russell Westbrook. He is a standard bearer for the Jordan brand with his own signature shoe, Greg. Few players have ever been as competitive as Michael Jordan, but you think Westbrook may be in that conversation.
No doubt about it. The similarities don't end there. The surreal athleticism, the will to dominate, and that fire, finding grudges to motivate them to their highest level. I think there's a kinship in how MJ and Russ approach the game.
That's good from Westbrook.
He does a great job of drawing contact and getting himself to the line, something he didn't do in the first period.
A different look now for Cleveland. Nancy's checked in for Young. Korver comes in for J.R. Smith. And it's Sexton in for Hill. Paul George, he's checked in for Oklahoma City. And Russell Westbrook drops them both.
Boy, you think about the Cleveland Cavaliers' journey last season. It was filled with so many ups and downs. They ultimately end up as the 4th seed, and it didn't matter. They still get to the NBA Finals.
Now here's Korver. Quiet so far offensively, searching for his first points of the game.
Don't you love guys who are willing to do the dirty work? Larry Nance's activity making him a factor on the rebounding aspect.
George against Korver. And George kicks to Roberson. And again, no good by Oklahoma City. And, of course, Doris, the Cavs were the 4th seed last season, but still came out of the East.
Yeah, but, Kevin, it was clearly a team that had to adjust early in the year to the loss of Kyrie Irving. And then they had to readjust again with the reshuffling of players at the trade deadline. Somehow it all comes together, and they secure a 4th straight trip to the NBA Finals. Incredible journey.
Here's Clarkson. Patrick Patterson picking up that last bucket. On the wing, Korver, defended by George. Korver dishes to Love for 3. That's it, and the Oklahoma City lead is cut down to just 10 points with the bucket from Korver.
How about the passing? They are moving the ball without any thought, without any individual agendas.
Here's Roberson. He's averaging around 5.5 points a game. From about 19 feet, they get it again. No good with the layup. So for Cleveland, their last game, a win against Orlando.
And anytime you come off the bench, you know your role. And that night, it was about scoring.
Well, there's no doubt. They were sharp on the offensive end. The bench guys just did a sensational job bringing their A game.
Now, here is George. Steven Adams unable to get his last shot to go.
And when Paul George has this kind of rhythm and pace to his game, you simply want the ball in his hands as much as possible.
Clarkson passes to Love. Back to Clarkson. Nance a screen. Clarkson kicks to Love. Deflects the pass. Westbrook with the steal. Jumps up and finished off by Westbrook.
How about the instincts of Russell Westbrook on the defensive end? Gives his teammate an easy chance there.
And that was an Unleash Chaos replay, courtesy of Under Armour, wreaking havoc at the rim. It's a pick by Love. Down low. Oh, Nance in position. Hammers the alley-oop through.
The very definition of a high flyer, Larry Nance, my goodness.
To the paint. Stolen away. Nice job to interrupt the alley-oop attempt there. The open look here for Sexton. Misses off the left iron. Here's Roberson. He's covered by Clarkson. Lets it go from deep. And Westbrook gets it to go on the assist from Roberson. Westbrook's got 18 points.
Boy, what a quarter for this guy. Just give him the basketball and get out of the way.
Here's Clarkson. It's rebounded by Oklahoma City. Westbrook's got his 4th rebound with that last one here tonight. And George with the stuff.
Make no mistake, Paul George is a fierce finisher inside.
Guys, they're looking for a spark here.
Yeah, a cold stretch offensively for sure.
Nance a screen. Love dishes to Sexton. Basket counts. He has 6.
And guys, they continue to put a lot of pressure on the interior defenders with their work down low.
Westbrook with a wide open look. The shot's good on the assist by George. And that's 21 points for Russell Westbrook.
Well, after hitting 0 from distance in the first, that's the second quarter.
George against Korver. Dishes it to Love. Sexton kicks to Clarkson. 6 to shoot. It's a pick by Love. The tray. And he's good on the 3-ball.
Well, the shooting stroke of Jordan Clarkson on display as he comes off the screen.
Screen by Adams. From deep. And released it in time, but it's off the mark. And so it's Oklahoma City riding a 15-point lead at the end of the quarter. Their strategy has been clear tonight. Work the ball inside, get shots in the paint, and now they are scoring with ease. It's time now to go courtside as we send you over to David Aldridge from the sideline. David, take it away.
Thanks, Kevin. Russell, how confident are you that there's nobody that can stay in front of you?
Very confident. I have a lot of confidence in myself. I put a lot of work in the summertime, but I'm very confident.
That is never a problem for you, Russ. Thanks very much. Back to you, Kevin.
All right, David, thank you. We'll be back after halftime for the start of the 3rd quarter.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hi again, everyone. I'm Ernie Johnson, sitting alongside the Diesel and the Jet. Welcome to the Halftime Show on 2K Sports. It was all Russell Westbrook in the first quarter. He had 21 points, 5 rebounds, and 1 assist. Kenny, let's get your take on Oklahoma City.
In that first half, terrific composure from Russell Westbrook. You know he's going to play with emotion, and he's going to try to intimidate you, but his ability to play under control now really makes the difference.
Looking at Cleveland, Shaq, your thoughts.
Ernie, I don't use this word a lot because, one, I can't spell it, but it was definitely a subpar effort for them on the glass. That hurt. If they're serious about cutting into this deficit, it's gut check time. Ugh, you hear that, Ernie? I'm hitting my gut. Ugh, you got to check your gut, Ernie. Ugh, gut check time, Ernie.
And that's a wrap for our halftime show. The third quarter just about to get started.
Welcome back to Cleveland, Ohio, home of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. My wife and I toured that recently. It is worth the price of admission. Well, it's been a one-sided affair so far through the first 2 quarters, but there's plenty of time to mount a comeback. Well, you look at Russell Westbrook in this game, he has been everywhere.
Yeah, the rebounding, particularly on the offensive side, as good as it gets. He was bringing the effort down low.
Well, it's his specialty. There are certain guys who can dominate a half or even an entire game by generating second chances.
Big margin on our hands, but we'll see if that gap narrows down in the third and fourth quarters. The Thunder leading by 15.
When you think about Billy Donovan, to me, he's a guy who values trust and building relationships with players. This guy is not a dictator. He wants to help players grow and develop, and that helps you win.
And on the floor for Billy Donovan as we get into the second half. Robertson and George fill out the wings. Patterson is the 4 with Adams in the middle. And it's Westbrook in at the point. Now here is Smith to the inside. Love. Smith. Fade away. Pulled the shot a little up, but the bounce goes his way. Love's got his team on the board first here in the second half for the Cavs. And for Coach Billy Donovan, the process of developing NBA players' doors has to be different than it was in college.
Oh, no doubt. At the pro level, many guys are making more money than you are. A lot of them have families. They've already grown into themselves. But to me, he still emphasizes the fact that great relationships with your players is important.
And Adams sends it back.
And the defense of Steven Adams is so important to this team. They depend on him to be a rim protector now.
Boy, what a cold start to the second half for them. Just 1 for 4 from the field so far.
And it's good for 2.
Yeah, second chance points. Gotta love the way they attack the offensive glass there, even with a huge lead.
I'll tell you, Greg, there's no let up in how they play. They want to dominate every aspect, and that includes second chance points.
Love with the buckets.
Well, this is showing off that Kevin Love is a complete offensive player. He can drain that mid-range with regularity if that's what you give him.
On the sideline, let's catch up with Hall of Famer David Aldridge.
Well, with all the turmoil in the Cavs locker room last season, some wondered if head coach Tyronn Lue's job could be in jeopardy. Despite leading the team to its first championship in 2016, Lue, like a lot of coaches, finds that his future in the NBA is always subject to speculation. Kevin?
All right, DA, thank you. Now, here is Hill. Taking a look at his stats, he's averaging around 7.5 points a game. Here's Smith, and there's another one for the Cavaliers.
You know, guys, Smith not just a three-point threat, very capable of doing work in the mid-range.
Westbrook against Hill. Westbrook kicks to Patterson. Oklahoma City moving it around. That one drops for him. 19 points for George.
Well, you love how Paul George gets his feet under him first on these catch and shoot. His pre-shot routine is so important.
Timeout called the Cavaliers.
And Steven Adams came into this league at 19, already a physical specimen, and has only gotten stronger. Just a bruising presence down low.
And here is the shot chart as we see how things are going for George.
Right now, after looking at that chart, you pretty much can just jog down the court. He gets it in the paint. Just time and time again, he's worked his way in close and made a shot over a defender or found another way to convert. Just great stuff coming from him thus far.
And plenty of bumping and elbowing inside as ever. Steven Adams strong enough, though, to come out on top of that battle.
Yeah, not shy at all about contact. Grew up the youngest of 18 children. He had to hit above his weight for over a decade. Now he's got the upper hand.
Oklahoma City shooting their 7th and 8th free throw attempts for the game right here.
One of the worst in the league a season ago, just 72%.
Now, gentlemen, 2 shots. Loose shots.
That's good from Westbrook.
When you think about the Oklahoma City Thunder, you have to start and end the conversation with the historic regular seasons put on by Russell Westbrook. The one thing you have to wonder, has he taken them as far as he can?
Good on both. And if you're building a team around Westbrook on paper, Doris, how do you do it?
Well, he's a player, obviously, who needs the basketball in his hands. And if you look at a team like the Rockets, where James Harden is complemented by shooters and a rim runner, you wonder if that's the blueprint for somebody like Russell Westbrook.
The Cavaliers pull it in. Smith's got 3 rebounds now in this one. Poked away. Paul George with the steal. And pushing it up here. Here is Oklahoma City. And he gets the jumper to drop. George has got 6 in the quarter. In the third quarter with just over 3.5 minutes off the clock. Smith kicks to Love. Shoots over Adams. And that one's good. Love. Love's got 16 points.
And they are earning points with the jump shot now.
Passes it to Westbrook. Back to Robertson. Three-pointer. And it's Westbrook. That time on the assist from Robertson. Roberson's got his 4th assist with that last one here tonight. The Cavaliers trail by 20. It's Hill on the wing. He's covered by Westbrook. Nance a screen. Hill kicks to Love. 5 on the clock. On its way from Young for 2. And that one hits back iron.
Boy, he has been cold for a while now.
Yeah, starting to look like it's taking its toll mentally. He doesn't look like himself.
And guys, when George gets cooking, you are in for a long night. He's just fantastic at finding different ways to score.
Here's Smith. Paul George making his last shot. It's back to Hill. Young from outside. Westbrook pulls it in. Westbrook's got 6 rebounds in the game. Right side George. Three-pointer. Rebound by Smith. Smith's got 4 rebounds in this game.
He's cold from deep. 0 threes in the second half after hitting just 1 in the first.
Oklahoma City leading by 22. Hill pulls it in.
And really, they have the play all set up there, and then it just breaks down.
I can't believe they didn't pull that one off. Everything seemed there. They've got to be upset with themselves.
And it's Paul George with the foul. That's foul number 2 for him. And Cleveland making a change here. Osman's checked in. Noel's checked in for Oklahoma City. Dennis Schroeder comes in for Andre Robertson. Young against Noel. And Young kicks to Smith. And another miss by Cleveland. Here's Oklahoma City now. They're on a 15-6 run. And the call will be against George Hill. That's foul number 2 for him. Sexton, he's checked in for Hill. And Oklahoma City also making a switch. Raymond Felton, he's checked in for Russell Westbrook. And so here is Oklahoma City. George passes to Schroeder. And Adams now top of the key. And George kicks to Felton. Clock is at 3. And that one's good. Schroeder. Schroeder's got 8.
Oh, great ball movement there.
Cleveland's gone 0 of 2 from deep to start things here in the second half. Sexton dishes to Nance. Over in the corner, Osman. Nance a screen on Felton. Here's Osman. Nice teamwork to set up the pick play and make the space for the J.
Boy, ran his man right into the pick and got the open look. Basketball 101.
Here's George. And that's a foul called on Colin Sexton. That is his first foul of the game. Kyle Korver, he's checked in for Cleveland. And Oklahoma City with a change here too. Grant's checked in. Here's Noel. And it goes down 2 points. He's got 6.
How about that show of strength from Nerlens Noel? No fear in how he attacks the defense on these shots.
Nance a screen. Here's Osman. And it's out of bounds. The Cavaliers able to retain possession here.
And here's a look at the stats for Dennis Schroeder. He had a strong showing last season. Put up about 19 points a game, 6 assists and 3 rebounds. And with his great passing, he's been a catalyst for their offense, often seeing plays even before they materialize.
There's no doubt about that. Great anticipation, excellent peripheral vision. His talents are really shining through.
Nance a screen on Schroeder. Nance a screen. Outside Korver from the arc. Buries it from 3-point range.
Give a little tip of the cap to Kyle Korver. This guy is unreal as a shooter, even with the defense in his grill.
Schroeder kicks to George. Shoots over Korver, and it's George missing. The Cavaliers trail by 21. Here's Sexton, and another 3 for Cleveland.
I tell you, there are players who can get thrown off when they're that wide open, but this guy keeps his cool and doesn't rush it.
And that's a foul called on Colin Sexton. That'll be his second foul of the game. And Cleveland making a change here. Clarkson's checked in. Here's Noel. Nance with the rebound. Nance has got his 6th rebound on the night. Young with no one around. And another 3 for Cleveland.
I think Tyronn Lue as a coach, one of the best qualities he has is his ability to manage the stars. Boy, has he done a great job of blending talents in Cleveland.
That's tipped.
You know, having a point guard who can block shots is a luxury. Sexton with terrific timing and reach on that one.
Well, that's about timing and precision and knowing for Paul George how to use that leaping ability to get that alley-oop.
And that was an unleashed chaos moment indeed. What a spectacular play. Sponsored by Under Armour Hover Havoc. Clarkson passes to Nance. Terrific design on the pick play, and he lays it in. Nance has got his 3rd bucket of the night. And Doris for Ty Lue. He keeps the peace by keeping things fresh and new for his team.
Well, I like that last year he took the team to wine country in Napa in the middle of the season. Boy, that's a great way to bond as a team and break up the routine. Just one trick he's used to keep players at ease.
The Thunder have been good at the free throw line. This one, 7 of 8.
One shot, gentlemen.
That's good from Noel. And the Cavaliers were so good at so many things last season, Doris, but the defense had lapses.
Well, you could go a step further and say the defense was poor over the last couple of years for the Cavaliers. When you look at the metrics, they were bottom 3 in a lot of those metrics. This is a team that relied on its offense to win games. They made no secret about that.
And the pass there floated it up to the precise spot it needed to be.
And no messing around on the finish. He powers it through. Now, here is George. 25 points in the game. Noel dishes to George. And oh boy, a lot of contact there, but he gets the call and will shoot two. And he was one of many big names in free agency this past summer. Paul George, a huge part of that. But you know, Greg, he didn't take long to make his decision.
Many expected George to maybe jump to the Lakers. Had been saying it was his dream to play in LA for over a year. But credit Westbrook and the Thunder. They won him over. He was one of the first signings in free agency to re-up with OKC.
You throw good, Paul George.
Well, to me, Paul George exemplifies what a leader should be. This guy does not look for his personal stats. He just wants to make the guys around him better.
No good on the second, so he hits 1 of 2. The Thunder went into free agency with a lot of question marks, but ended having a big summer.
Able to retain Paul George, and that was the first and largest key. Getting a player like Noel for cheap was also a big help for this group. The Thunder were at a fork in the road last season, but this team now as dangerous as ever.
Here's Schroeder following the score by Cleveland. Outside, George. Six to shoot. Fires, high post. And the shot is long. The Cavaliers trail by 15. Inside, Clarkson. And it's sent back by George.
Paul George, tremendous vertical, Kevin. How fast does he get off his feet?
A good finish at the rack off the slick feed. George has got 13 points here in the second half alone. Cleveland's gone 3 of 5 with the long ball since entering the second half. Clarkson against Felton. Clarkson kicks to Sexton. Another 3 for Cleveland.
And, you know, he's enjoyed the kind of day you expect in terms of shooting the basketball. He can bring them right back into this game.
Here's George. Larry Nance comes up with the rebound. Cleveland's gone 4 of 6 from three-point land since the start of the second half. It's tipped, and the ball travels out of bounds. It was last touched by George.
Man, you love the effort. Just getting the hand in there and knocking it out.
You love that they're making their presence felt on the defensive end. You can't afford to be careless with this team.
Kevin Love's checked in for Cleveland. And out of bounds as the Thunder gain possession. And we'll get a look here where the shots have been coming from for him.
Well, you have to give him credit because he's done everything he can to help contribute, but it doesn't appear to be in the cards for him tonight. A lot of strange releases, and he just isn't the same efficient scorer that we're used to seeing.
Now here's Schroeder. He's got 8. Shoots from 14. George, no good. The Cavaliers trail by 14. Now Clarkson, and Sexton has it in the corner. Here's Nance, and that one is good with the extra effort on the glass. Nance has got 10 points in the game.
And they've really gotten on track here in the second half. After that shaky start, the field goal percentage steadily climbing. They couldn't make anything in that first break.
Now here's Noel. 9 points in the game so far. Back to George. Down to 5 on the shot clock.
I tell you what, I'd settle for having as many points in this game as he has rebounds.
You know, you have to be an absolutely tireless worker to rack up 20-plus boards.
And so it's Oklahoma City up by a dozen here at the end of the quarter. Their transition game has been in full effect. We've got more in store for you right after this. And a moment now as we take a look at our State Farm assists of the game.
And he sliced the D wide open with this feed. They had no chance to prevent that basket.
Well, that's what a great pass will do, right? You love the unselfish play.
And we're getting underway here in the fourth quarter. The scoreboard tells the story in this matchup, but we'll see how much things change up here. Nance is inside along with Love. Sexton is out there with Jordan Clarkson. And it's Korver in at the 3. That's the 5 for Cleveland right now. Love with the screen on Schroeder. And Dennis Schroeder gets the whistle that time. That is his first foul of the game. Russell Westbrook in for Oklahoma City. And so here's Cleveland, down by 12. Now, here's Clarkson. Lock at 6. In the corner, Nance with it. And the ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by Love. And here's what Cleveland's schedule is looking like. On Saturday, they'll begin a road trip starting in Chicago against the Bulls. Then on Tuesday, they'll head home to take on the Charlotte Hornets.
And you know, for that Pistons game, you know they want to come out and make a big statement in that one. It won't be easy, but anything can happen. No clue where that pass was going. That is a brutal turnover.
Andre Robertson, he's checked in for Raymond Felton. The Cavaliers trail by 12. Clarkson with the ball. Nance sets a screen for Clarkson. Nance a screen. 5 on the clock. The shot by Clarkson, no good. Oklahoma City leading by 12. Noel passes to Westbrook. Banked in off the glass. Westbrook's got the fourth quarter going with the first basket of the period here for Oklahoma City. Well, the Cavaliers shooting a lackluster 38% for the game, struggling so far. Love with the screen for Sexton. Floats one. Westbrook with the nice D there.
Well, that's tough defense in the paint, harassing him every step of the way.
Got a hand on it, and he gets it back. The Cavaliers have gone 0 of 3 to start the fourth quarter. Stolen by George. Here we go, all alone. Here's Roberson, and sticking right with it, gets the foul with the bucket, and he'll go to the line.
Well, the length of Paul George, creating opportunities for his team. He covers an awful lot of ground with that wingspan.
And 6'7" swingman Andre Robertson out of the University of Colorado, one of the league's premier defensive specialists.
And Kevin, there's a reason he started for most of his career, and it has nothing to do with his shooting. Now returning from that ruptured patella tendon, will he regain that elite defensive form? Only time will tell.
Well, an elite perimeter defender, Andre Robertson uses that impressive length to bother players. What a solid role player this guy has become.
Westbrook against Hill. Nance a screen. Love with the screen for Hill. 4 on the clock. Here's Clarkson. Off target from outside.
But still, eventually you got to feel like he'll start knocking those down again.
Oklahoma City moving it around. Here's Westbrook, and the shot is good, dropping in off the front of the rim. Westbrook's got 30.
This guy's trying to close this game out in style. He's not going to stop attacking until he's sure this win is in the books.
Love against Adams. And a lot of contact on that one, so he'll shoot 2 here. Steven Adams picks one up.
Well, the Cleveland Cavaliers went to their 4th straight finals last season. To me, nothing short of remarkable. They had to fight their way through an improving Eastern Conference. And the reality is the Warriors have more talent than everybody else, and that's why they win the NBA Finals.
2.
The first one falls. And the Cavaliers were strong, Doris, but ultimately were overmatched by the Warriors.
And think about their journey to the finals, Kevin. In the East, they had 2 series go to 7 games. LeBron James, think about how many years he has played basketball so deep into June. He had played 82 games in the regular season for the first time in his career. And the bottom line was the Warriors entered the season as the prohibitive favorites and ultimately end up champions.
Robertson dishes to Westbrook. He kicks it to George. Fires the 3. Patterson can't get it to go.
Boy, despite the miss, he did a really good job shaking himself completely free from the defense.
And it's Osman missing.
And why take that contested shot? I mean, make the extra pass.
Well, that's a head scratcher. When the defense is in your grill, move the ball.
And you know Westbrook has an outstanding vertical. And once he gets to the launching pad, rim, beware.
And George gets the whistle that time. That's his 3rd foul of the game. And we're about 3.5 minutes into the 4th quarter. And George gets the whistle that time. That's his 4th foul of the contest.
4th foul of the night. Now he needs to be smart. Can't reach in and pick up something foolish.
Thunder on D. A great 4th quarter. Just giving up 2 points. Hill kicks to Osman. Clock at 6. Nance a screen. The 3.
Well, that's the wingspan of Paul George. He is so good at bothering shooters with that length.
And a lot of contact on that one, so he'll shoot 2 here. Andre Robertson played power forward, Doris, at Colorado. He has slid all the way down to shooting guard in the NBA.
Well, I like that you use the word guarding, because that is why Andre Robertson is in the NBA. He is an elite defensive player. He can guard across multiple positions. And you think about who he's matching up with on a night-by-night basis. Whether it's 1s, 2s, or 3s, this is one of the more disruptive defenders we have ever seen.
2 shots.
First free throw is good. The Oklahoma City Thunder with one of the more rabid fan bases, Doris, in the NBA.
Well, 7 straight seasons of sellouts. There's something about the love affair you find in these small market one-sport towns. This is an organization that has the complete and full support of their community.
And that's good as he hits both of his shots. You know, a lot of people have looked at the schedule of the NBA, Doris, and they think, you could eliminate back-to-backs of teams that face each other 4 times in a season, do a 2-game series in each city. It's kind of a baseball-type feel. Would you support that?
You know, it's an intriguing possibility to me, Kevin, because, one, it would cut down on travel, which obviously would make things a little bit better and easier for players. The travel schedule is taxing, particularly on back-to-backs. And so I don't know if there would be an opportunity for Adam Silver to maybe somehow run a test case. Would you be willing to put it in for a season, see how it fits in the overall context of the season? But it is an intriguing idea, and we are trying to improve the product no matter which way we go.
And another miss by Cleveland.
Well, yeah, I mean, you want to give your offense a chance, and that possession didn't do it.
Not at all, Greg. I mean, no reason for him to be taking these kinds of shots. He has only himself to blame.
They could use a big shot here to get this offense going.
Too many empty possessions. Right now, they need a basket.
Unloads from 13. Smith, no luck. And J.R. Smith picks up the foul. That's his first foul. And it's Oklahoma City's ball. This run now up to 13-2. Here's George, and he could not get that one to go. A lot of contact, and he'll go to the line for 2. You look at the state of the game. International leagues getting better and better, Doris. There's no doubt about it. We see it at Olympic times, and during FIBA play and between. We see a lot of NBA players who have spent time abroad, and I think they come back better.
I don't think there's any doubt about that, Kevin. I think wherever you can hone your craft and do it in a competitive environment where winning and losing is at stake on a nightly basis, it has so many opportunities for learning and growth. So, okay, I can't turn it over 5 times in a competitive environment, regardless of what league I'm playing in, because that's to the detriment of my team. If I'm lazy on the defensive end, I'm going to get exposed by good offensive players. To me, Kev, I love any time there's competitive basketball being played. I want to watch it.
Love that answer. And George drops them both. Cleveland's gone 0-3 so far in the 4th quarter from long range. It's a pick by Love. Love with the screen on George, and there's the call. It's going to be an illegal screen.
Trying to come back, Kevin, and you can't afford too many mistakes. His 4th turnover hampering their efforts.
A different look now for Cleveland. Channing Frye's checked in for Love. Sam Decker comes in for Nance, and David Nwaba is subbed in for J.R. Smith. Then for the Thunder, Luwawu Cabarro, he's checked in for George, and Diallo subbed in for Roberson. Patterson. And again, Oklahoma City, no good.
Not his best game, but they're still getting it done collectively.
Good on the bucket.
I'll tell you, that's a graceful finish. Not just any old layup, the teardrop.
Adams sets the pick for Westbrook. Doors with a more punitive luxury tax. Draft picks with their cost-controlled salaries. Never more important than they are today.
No doubt, Kevin. I think teams are very hesitant to part with first-round picks because they have been critical. But I think you also have to consider the second-round picks as being valuable assets. Think about the Golden State Warriors. In each of the last 2 years, they have purchased for money a second-round pick from another organization. And both times, those players ended up being critical parts of the rotation. Every draft pick, first or second round, has value.
Catching up on the changes for Cleveland. Kevin Love's checked in for Fry. Nance comes in for Decker. Young is subbed in for David Nwaba. And then for Oklahoma City, Paul George comes in for Luwawu Cabarro. And it's Andre Robertson in for Diallo. Here's Osman. Back to Young. Paul George with the steal. Here's Westbrook, and finished off by Westbrook.
Well, this guy knows how to do this in the open floor. Russell Westbrook in transition is the most dangerous player.
Love kicks to Young. Nance a screen. Lobbed up there for Love. Trying to go for an alley-oop, but excellent defense and anticipation there to stop it. And Westbrook throws it down.
How about the high-flying antics of Russell Westbrook? The alley-oop, my goodness, that's pretty.
Hill against Westbrook. Hill passes to Love. You always hear coaches preaching consistency. Doris, what enables that kind of night in, night out reliability?
Well, I think a lot goes into it, and you can start with pride, Kevin. If you're putting in the kind of preparation necessary, then you're going to take a certain amount of pride in the things you do on a night-by-night basis. Things aren't always going to go your way, but it's not how you end the night. It's how do you respond in the middle of the game when things are going against you. Calls haven't gone your way, or perhaps there's a bad matchup. What's your response? So a lot of things go into consistency, and it's why we take special pride covering players who pride themselves on being available.
And one of the most admired things you have, too, as well.
Correct. Michael Jordan loved to play every night.
And the mid-range jumper really right in George's comfort zone. When he isn't blowing by guys and finishing at the rim, he's knocking that one down with consistency.
And that's going to be his 5th, guys. One more and he's done. You know, Raymond Felton comes out of North Carolina. He's the 5th overall pick back in 2005. It's incredible to me that this is his 14th season. The first 9 he started. I don't know that people realize that.
First free throw is good. Doris, talk about what's kept Felton around this long.
You know what, Kevin? For every organization that Raymond Felton has ever played on, The head coach loves him. And why is that? Well, one, he understands how to run a team from the point guard position. He's a low mistake player that takes great care of the basketball. He's willing to mentor younger players. I would sort of liken him to that game manager quarterback, somebody who you know what you're going to get on a night-by-night basis. And there is huge value to NBA head coaches when you get that.
Cleveland's gone 0-3 so far in the fourth quarter from long range. Osman kicks to Hill. Here's the screen. It's a pick by Love. Here's Osman. Good, and it's Hill picking up the assist. Hill's got 4 assists now tonight.
Lined it up and knocked it down. His second triple tonight.
Felton dishes to George. And he could not get that one to go. A lot of contact, and he'll go to the line for 2. That's on Nick Young.
2 shots, gentlemen. 2.
Yeah, you look at George Hill's game, and he doesn't wow you in any way, but he's a complete basketball player. Strong outside shooter, but might be most valuable defensively. Often regarded as one of the best defensive guards in the league.
Shooting 2.
And he makes the first. And with Hill and his defense, perhaps what is best about it is that he can guard Greg both guard positions, and that makes him valuable.
Yeah, and that flexibility gives a coach and his lineup so much leeway. Hill has a great wingspan, about 6'9", and can be very disruptive defensively. Very good at fighting through screens to stick with his assignments as well.
Really getting after the defense since the break. He's so hard to keep off the line when he pushes the action. That's just a terrific pass to beat the defense up the court, and that's exactly how you move the ball in transition.
Here's George, and 2 free throws coming up, unable to get that one to go with all the contact. When it comes to building confidence, Doris, some people say playing one-on-ones in practice is a huge help. Is that something that you did when you were playing at Providence?
Kevin, I believe this could be the single greatest development tool for any individual player. If you start at the free throw line and play one-on-one against a player who's maybe slightly above your level or certainly at your level, and you limit that one-on-one from the free throw line to 2 dribbles or less, your skill set, I promise you, is going to develop. The other thing I would encourage young players to do is play 3-on-3, because it forces you to move and to cut and to screen and how to do those things properly if you're going to be effective. I love 1-on-1, 2-on-2, 3-on-3. It always helps you when you go back to the 5-on-5.
That's such great advice. He's perfect from the line this time. Cleveland's gotten just 1 of 4 3-pointers to go down for them here in the fourth. Hill passes to Nance. Pick up by Hill. And here's Love from the arc. It's rebounded by Oklahoma City. Pass to George. Back to Patterson. It's stolen by Nance. And here's Love. And the Cavaliers call time here.
And they're picking up a lot of fouls already in the penalty. Not a good sign. They need to focus on moving their feet and maintaining a good defensive position.
And now the presentation of our Jordan Player of the Game, Paul George.
And Kevin, it's a no-brainer. He's controlled every aspect of this game, and it's just so fun to see a player perform at a level that's just higher than anyone else out on the floor.
Coming into this game, he'd been having a tough stretch. We all know that, but not anymore. He's back at his best, and I think it's safe to say that slump is over. And turnovers have been the issue for him.
You can see the coaches have gotten into him a little bit about this. They've got to do a better job of taking care of the ball.
Smith for three. That shot is off. Now Oklahoma City takes it the other way. Pass to Roberson. Back to Adams. Good work there as it goes.
Well, the size and the frame of Steven Adams is flat out intimidating. A high percentage scorer around the blocks.
Pick up by Hill. Osman kicks to Fry. Back to Osman. Off the screen. Nice jump shot. Good. Osman's got 9 points now in just the second half.
You know, the assist has to go to the screen on that play. Gave him all the room he needed to rise and fire.
Felton the pass to Adams. Over Fry. Adams' shot is off.
Well, the struggles from the field continue for this guy. The way it's going, he shouldn't be more than a secondary option for them at this point.
Outside Hill. Doris, for both charting game action and improving player health, the players now are being tracked by the player tracking devices or chips in their jersey during a game.
I love it, Kevin, because what it enables teams to do is measure the impact and the toll it can take on a player. For example, we now know that player X ran 5 miles on this particular night in this game action environment. And what that affords you is, okay, if you have a back-to-back situation, then you're going to be more careful with that player's minutes the next night. Or if it's an off day, Kevin, you can just say to that player, listen, unless we're doing a walkthrough, you're not involved. I want you off your feet and recovering. Anything that helps the competitive environment that these players are playing in, I'm all for it, Kev.
That was an excellent example. I like that.
Listen, that's a look he can hit, but right now he can't throw it in the ocean.
Well, guys, this was never really a contest, just a total obliteration, if you will, and you can safely say mission accomplished now for the Thunder.
And this was one that never really was in doubt, I thought, an all-around dominant performance. And you kind of thought that maybe even going into the game.
Yeah, there was a sense of that, and man, they just pretty much blew them right out of the water. A clinic was put on display here today.
And now, for the year, this is going to take them to 7 wins.
And so they win their first game against this squad. It's a 2-game season series, and they'll be going for the sweep the next time they face off.
And what a tremendous standout performance it was for George.
Well, I think his contribution clearly came at the defensive end, right? He came up with a bunch of huge steals. He was a menace all night long.
Now Noel. Screen by Adams. Here's Grant. Good on the three-point shot.
I'll tell you, when you're the visiting team, it can be hard to maintain focus, but not tonight.
No, I think that they've been locked in during this game. They didn't let the opposing crowd get to them at all. This has been pure domination.
And since halftime, they have been locked and loaded from beyond.
Yeah, there's no question about it. Knocking down triples repeatedly, the defense starting to look helpless at this point.
Now, here's Felton. So no problem for Oklahoma City as they get the win. A resounding victory for them. And Greg in enemy territory, no less.
That's exactly right. But with the way they controlled the game and just completely took the crowd out of it, that's how to get it done on the road.
And now let's catch up with David Aldridge, who's standing by from the sideline. All right, Dave.
Thanks very much, Paul. Congrats on the win. Where's your team's attitude right now?
Continue to, play together. And we can just stick to that, keep working, staying confident, keep defending, and knocking shots down. We'll be all right.
Looked like it all came together tonight, Paul. Thanks very much. Back to you, Kevin.
David, thank you as always. And that about wraps it up. For Greg Anthony, Doris Burke, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Have a great evening.